Welcome to Black Businesses Matter, a podcast about why Black businesses matter and the benefits of collaborating and advocating for Black businesses to drive impact. Each episode will cover legacy, hope, Black joy, funding sources, cultural shifts, equality, and so much more. We will provide inspiration and action while spreading some joy to a thriving community of Black business owners and leading thought leaders. Known as the brand maven who transforms organizations with her storytelling prowess, meet Larvetta L. Lofton, host of Black Businesses Matter, a podcast about why Black businesses matter and the benefits of collaborating and advocating for Black businesses to drive impact.
Well, we are back for another episode of Black Businesses Matter. Now, guys, this one is special. We are in the studio. You all know part of season 5 or the kickoff of season 5. We have a studio that we work out of, and our genius audio engineer here makes the sound just sound beautiful. So certainly give us a shout out, give us a review, and tell us about it. Some of season 5 has it, and some of season 5 doesn't. So you'll see the difference. But I'm excited because I am in the studio with this dynamic woman. And guys, when I tell you about her, you're going to want to know her. You're going to want to book her. You're going to want to buy her products. I promise you, because that's how powerful she is in her industry. Her name is Tori Prince, but she goes by Tori. She is a licensed esthetician, international educator, and a makeup artist, which, guys, I didn't know, but I kind of figured that, but she told me today, and the CEO of Tori Prince Beauty. She is also an award-winning at the Chicago Skin Lab, and she has over a decade of experience. I love when we say over a decade and they look like they 15. I mean, I just be like, so you started when you were 15. Okay, cool. So I love it. Her passion is on corrective skincare treatments, delivering transformative results while practicing the art of aesthetics and cosmetic science, girl. Yeah, she's going to tell us about that, because I saw that and I was like, I've got a cosmetic scientist in the studio? Yeah, and she's a Black girl. Okay, I just want to tell y'all that. She has become a recognized industry thought leader and expert, achieving 6-figure success by offering advanced corrective treatments to fill the gap in the melanated skin industry, which we all know is important, and we need to have this level of representation. Her mission is to empower women of color with better representation in the beauty industry and a deeper understanding of skincare. Her skincare line, guys, is Skin 2.0. And I just love that name, because I don't know about y'all, but you know what? We're all about getting better and being the best versions of ourselves. And she designed specifically for corrective skincare results. And it's rising to critical acclaim, allowing customers to achieve and maintain a flawless canvas with active ingredient products that effortlessly cleanse, exfoliate, brightens, boosts, and enriches our skin. I'm saying our. She said there, but I'm saying our skin because I want all of that. Transforming their skin routine into a luxurious self-care lifestyle, whether on the go or indulging in that home oasis. Wherever you are in your skincare regimen, you need Tori in your life. I'm just going to tell y'all that. So welcome to the show, Tori.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And you are
so grateful to be here.
Look at that skin. Y'all don't see it, but I see it. Everybody can't see this, but it's nothing like the skincare expert coming in and her skin tight. Like you're able to just show up and be like, yeah, this is what I do. Well, clearly, because her skin is flawless. Like, you literally are the walking billboard.
And it was not always that way.
Wow.
It was not always.
So tell me about that as a little girl. Who was Tori as a little girl? Like, was she the girl that had acne?
Yeah. Tori had...
Or was it Victoria? Which one was it then back then?
Well, back then I was Pumpkin.
Ooh, you are Pumpkin. So I get to call you Pumpkin.
Yes. No, don't. No. My mom will be like, no, you don't want Pumpkin to come out. Keep Pumpkin.
I love it.
Chilling in Inglewood. Okay. So I struggled with hormonal acne
Okay.
Back then we didn't have products, so it was Noxzema.
Yeah.
You know, the cold cream.
Yeah, I do.
It was toothpaste.
Yes.
It was me going in the backyard concocting stuff, trying to get rid of these bumps. Now, I didn't have acne like severe that took over my whole face, but it was enough to, damage my confidence and not to know what to do with it. And then making it worse. And I think for me, it wasn't really the bumps per se, more it was the hyperpigmentation that caused the scarring. And so now for me, I'm dealing with being tall and skinny. I'm dealing with being a hood nerd. I'm dealing with wearing thick glasses. I'm dealing with all this stuff and, from the community.
Yeah.
And then I have these skin issues. And so it's like, what the heck, It wasn't, estheticians. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what facials were until maybe teens. And again, that was a luxury thing. It was for the Caucasian women or vacation or going to the spa. That was not a norm in the Black community. So it was, let's figure this out, and we get Noxzema. And hell, I think that was it? I don't even know. It was Fresh and Clean and Clear.
Yeah.
That came later on. And so it was like you just dealing with it. And then they had, what was the skincare brand that just made everything worse? Proactive.
Yes.
And that was expensive.
Yes,
and I
it
managed
was.
to get it, and it made my face even worse. And so that's when I started playing around in makeup, because it was like I wanted to cover it up. And I started creating these different personas of Victoria.
Wow.
So fun fact is, depending on what you know me as, I can pinpoint the era in my life where I met you.
Wow.
So that's why I said pumpkin. If you call me pumpkin, we go way back, and that's like a dark time.
Keep it there.
Yeah. So it's like,
I feel you on that.
Different names is different personas, but I was creating those personas of me to mask the low self-esteem and the confidence and dealing with all the other things that I was dealing with. I became really good at makeup.
Wow. And so, growing up, right, did you see makeup? Because
So my mom, I think a lot of us in our age bracket kind of take after our mother.
Yep. I
So
agree.
my mother was and I didn't even pick up to that till later, but my mother had great skin. She didn't have any skin issues. She was a black eyeliner, mascara, and a lip woman. That's it.
My mom. That's great.
That was it.
Yeah,
Every day.
that's
Her
it.
everyday
Yeah.
face. And so I created a Tori Prince Beauty everyday face. And I was like, this is inspired by my mom. But when she modeled. So when she modeled, she got the full beat, and she like just transformed. And I was just so in awe, like, oh
Enamored
my gosh,
by
she's
that.
so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then that's how I started makeup for fashion shows.
Nice.
Because I would be there with her, and I was like, damn, this is crazy. Like, you go from looking like, from this to that, and it's like, and then your confidence, and I just saw that, and it was being around the models. I grew up downtown. That's why I say it's full circle, because I would hang out downtown and being in Marshall Fields and seeing all of those counters. The only black was Fashion Fair, but that was for like older women, church ladies. And it was like, who wearing that? So I would go to the other counters and looking in magazines and like, oh my God, this skin is flawless. These models are flawless. Like this, I want to be this. Like, how can I, be this? And I just started getting into makeup. And so for me, my passion to make, one of my favorite is print, because I'm like, I want more representation of us in these magazines. Because luxury brands, you get like one black model.
Yeah.
And they're not even really African American. They're like really like a darker African descent. So it's like, no, I want to see African American women. So I didn't really know how to aspire to do that. So then once I was doing the fashion show, this is so much work. I got into bridal because I got tired of seeing the bride look so dry. Like we just, like you spend all this money and like your face is just like you woke up and got in the dress and was like, oh, okay. And I was like, no, you want to look back at these pictures 20, 30 years from now and, look great. Because I'm into print and you see all of these bridal magazines and the other races and they look just nice and flawless, and got into that, and it was a thing. Like, I loved it.
Yeah.
And then it started picking up, and then you started getting bridezillas, and the brides like, okay, I'll pay for you, but my bridesmaids don't want to come. And then I'm like, and it just got so stressful till I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this.
Wow.
I don't want to do bridal makeup anymore. Like my jam, because I airbrush, and a lot of
nice.
a lot of artists don't airbrush. I was grateful to have a lot of amazing mentors and coaches that are legendary in this industry. And I'm like, I wanted to take off with that and do movies and different things. But I always had a full-time job, so I didn't do that. But I was able to do things where I could get published and get internationally recognized.
That's
and
awesome.
to teach. But with the bridal industry, it just became so, I lost the passion for it.
Got it.
So it got to the point where I was like, you know what? You gonna book me, you paying. So I don't touch a bride less than $1,000.
Okay. All right.
It's stressful
Yeah.
because and it's not even really the bride, it's her squad.
Her squad.
It's like, this is your day, your say.
Yeah.
And so brides would be like, okay, well, I want you to book me. And I started doing that, just booking the bride and getting money for the bride. But then you have people come, can you add on? Or can you?
Yeah.
I find myself fixing the other makeup artist stuff. And then I was like, well, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm here for the bride. I'm on my time. And then it was like, that's not cohesive to me.
Yeah.
I don't want the bride face beat, flawless, looking like you need to be in Vogue and your team
Your
look
squad.
crazy.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to do it. And so I bagged out. Even stopped doing special occasions. And it's like, no.
It was a decision that you decided that wasn't serving you anymore.
No. And it became like, what's the purpose of it? Because for me, initially, it was giving them a great representation on their bridal day, being a part of their day, because you're not only just a makeup artist, I'm the assistant, I'm the last person they see, I'm getting them in the dress, I'm walking them down the aisle, I'm running around helping doing this and doing that. And so that was a good thing until it became not appreciated anymore. It wasn't appreciated. And so I was like, nah, I want to make a difference.
Yeah.
In everything that I do. And this is not making a difference.
And that's fair. I mean, I think it's fair, as you evolve as a business owner. I do want to ask you, Tori, so your first love into the beauty industry came from your mother? Is that what? Yeah. Wow. And
and also with that was that I didn't know growing up that she suffered from low self-esteem.
Wow.
And my grandmother, so really the motivation behind the business, yes, it's my struggle, but it's really from my grandmother, my mother's mother. She was murdered, domestic violence. And so she had really low self-esteem. So my mother would tell me about her having low self-esteem, drinking and just really seeking approval from men, which ultimately she lost her life. Wow. In the home I grew up in. Wow. So imagine all of that, and you're a child, you don't know what's going on. All of this energy, all of this now ties into who you become. Wow. And it wasn't until I did the Breed Love program when they made us dive deep into the why. And that's why I was so emotional when I was pitching, because I'm like, yeah, it's about me, but I'm strong. I overcame a lot of stuff, but my grandmother didn't. So it's for the dark, and she's a darker skin tone, beautiful. And that's who's on my arm.
On your arm.
If you visited the Bridgeport, my particular treatment room had her picture up there.
That's beautiful.
So it's for her and everybody that came there after. So yeah,
you're keeping and seeing that, just looking at you and seeing, I don't know, didn't know your grandmother, but I can see her as you were talking. I could see her in you, just in the way that you speak about, she didn't make it, right? She had it and she unfortunately didn't make it. And I think, we talk about generational, that's a word, generational curses. And I don't believe in her. I believe things are generational. True. I don't believe in curses because we ain't cursed unless you choose to be cursed. Like if you wake up and you want to be cursed, you can. But realizing that level of beauty, though, was generational, because your grandmother literally, what did she do? She literally allowed herself to be that, and then it passed down to you. that's a generation because we weren't talking about it. And so not being able to talk about it. And to your point, it also isn't we aren't represented to be able to talk about it, right? So because beauty today, right? So when you think about beauty today, you talk about your mom, right? Mascara, lip gloss, and then it was beat. I wanted to talk to you about how, like, in that it was you look beat on special occasions. Like it wasn't, this was, you were beautiful and special occasions. But as we look at today, Tori, is the idea to be beat every day? Is that, because we see that, right? Some generations feel like you got to be on, right? Instagram. I woke up like this.
For me and my clients, I feel, and I try to educate or inspire you to create your own definition of what that is.
Okay.
I have aunts that you won't catch them dead without a beat. You don't even know what they look like. They get up at 3:00 in the morning. Like I only know what they look like because they my aunts and I done been there to see them.
Yep.
But they come from that fashion fair generation where every day you're put on. Wow. So when I started this business, and how you said, like, now I'm a great representation of my business. For me, it wasn't like that. So when I would say, oh, I do makeup, back, when I started, people looking at my face like, I didn't get you do. Some people will be like, oh, you do makeup. I wasn't wearing it. But I'm like, hey, I have a whole profile. You can see that. Like, I don't have to walk around and be that to know how to do that. That's just not my lifestyle.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up. I don't have time for that.
Correct.
So you can do that if you want. It's special occasions, birthdays, pretty much birthdays or a photo shoot. It's that was the thing. Now, fast forward, you have more people that always have to be put on. And so I'm like, are you putting on because you enjoy, or are you putting on because you're masking?
Yeah.
And most of the time it's they're masking.
Yeah.
Because when clients come to me, they like, I want skin like yours, so I don't have to mask.
Wow.
I just want to wake up and just be okay.
I woke up like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, okay, now we got work to do. So then makeup becomes an option if you feel like wearing it or not.
Yeah. And I think when I look at who you are and what you represent, I certainly was like, oh my gosh, I just love her. But and let me say this, I love her because it wasn't, so she's my Bree Love sister. We were part of Bree Love Center for Black female entrepreneurs, and we're connected to life because of the Bree Love. So shout out to the Bree Love and the YWCA for bringing amazing Black women together to be able to connect and collaborate, which is how she's here. Seen her, from afar, but really the connection from Bree Love is what really got us together. But when I saw you and we talk about makeup, it was more than just like, you were just like, I'm building almost this enterprise and this empower, where I saw her in the way that I see you is like, when you see Neutrogena, you gonna see Tori Prince. Mm-hmm. That's how I see it. I was like, she not trying to just like, no. You see the line Neutrogena, you gonna see her line. And understanding that, but it makes sense when you tell the whole story. Why, when I saw it, I was like she has to be like the skincare goddess, literally. Because in my mind, and knowing your story in this is that, what separates you from Neutrogena? Just access, right? That's all it is. Mm-hmm. It's nothing really different because they had a why, and they were given that level of access. So I do want to talk about this cosmetic science, because I don't know about you all who are listening. I haven't heard of a cosmetic scientist or anyone in that place. So tell me what the science, because we look at cosmetics as to look good. We don't look at it from a scientific standpoint. Mm-hmm. It is to make my lips pop. It's to make my eyes pop, make my cheeks, from there. But when you think of science, right? And what is cosmetic science?
Cosmetic science is the creation of these products that we use every day.
Wow.
What separates brands from one another is the science behind their brand, which boils down to the ingredients. which is why it's so important that we have cosmetic science that is focused on melanated skin only.
And tell me why that is so important. Because some skincare be like, well, you know what I mean? It's all skin, right? Why is it important?
I mean, when you look at it, you have it's 5 or 6 different skin types.
Yeah.
So if you have something that's for everybody, it's like how what's the word I'm looking for? How effective is it going to be? Mm-hmm. Different skin types need different products, which is why some things don't work for certain people. When it comes to skin of melanin, you can get down to it's going to be hard because by 2025, the world is going to be primarily biracial.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
So it's even more critical now that we understand that, because when I look at my clients, I ask about their lineage, because that's important when treating your skin. So we have common skincare things that we deal with. We have the hormonal acne. We have PCOS, which is seen primarily in African American women. Of course, we have the scarring. We're dry as hell. So you have some things that are common that allows the formulations to be made. And then when you want to go a step further, it's okay. Now we need even, stronger or different ingredients to treat when it comes to, melasma or rosacea. We primarily don't deal with it, but I do have some clients that are melanated that do have it. And they're like, okay, I thought that was for white people. Why do you have it? It goes back to your lineage. And so people don't think about that. When they see my questionnaire, they're like, girl, that thing was 30 pages long. Yeah, I'm getting all in your business, holistically, lifestyle, diet, your background, your activity, like everything that you do, because it makes a difference. So when you have these brands that just throw, it's for people of color, is it? Where are the case studies?
Yeah, yeah.
I treat it every day. I see it. So when I'm thinking of when I'm formulating or thinking of a formulation, of course it's created. I put it out there. I use it in my treatment room. I get the feedback if you like it or not. But then I'm looking at, okay, we need to tweak it because it's not doing what I feel it should do. And so that's when I tell people, research your estheticians, research these products. Like, you should know what these products are doing and what they're for. Don't just take the packaging word for it or the brand word for it. When I was pitching, that's what everybody would ask me. Like, a lot of the venture capitalists, they're like, well, how would, do they have to see you to use your products? I'm like, no. Well, how would they know what to use? It's going to be on the packaging. It's going to be very clear what, this product is for this product is for this product is for that. Mm-hmm. Some people are blessed to use whatever, but most of us can't.
Yeah.
And then everybody wants to say, oh, I got sensitive skin. Oh, girl, no, you don't.
Wow.
Everybody's not sensitive. And it's a difference between sensitive and sensitized.
Wow. Tell us the difference.
So your skin type, you're born with it. It won't change. So just say you say my skin is sensitive. You would know that from birth.
Oh.
You would know if you had sensitive skin from the time you were born, because nothing worked or everything irritated your skin. Now, I'm not saying skin can't change over time, because it does. It's very temperamental. Mm-hmm. But when you grew up and you pretty much were fine and products didn't bother you, then all of a sudden products bother you. That could be because you sensitized your skin, because you used products that were too harsh. And now your skin is sensitive, like hyperactive, based off using these strong products.
Yeah. We're here with Tori, and we'll be right back. Hey BBM listeners, Tori Prince Beauty is offering 20% off your first purchase or new client experience. Visit ToriPrinceBeauty.com. You must use the code BBM20. Visit ToriPrinceBeauty.com. Shop responsibly, and thank you for listening. When you talk about, I think about you when you were talking about as a little girl, when you talk to young people, puberty and things like that. Are you creating as part of this line for young girls? got her face with
So
that.
people have been really asking me that to create a teen line.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. My daughter deals with acne and has dealt with it for a very long time. And she's one of the hardest clients that I have because she just don't want to do what I say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now she's a senior in high school. And I was like, yeah, you need a few pills because I want your skin. She doesn't really want to wear makeup for prom. I said, well, you're going to look finished. And we need to get rid of these, the hyperpigmentation so that you don't have to wear, because she don't want to wear makeup. And I'm just like, nah, yeah, you not about to be on my pictures like that. Look, you hear me? My pictures like that.
Now, Mama, it's not her. It's not about you.
And so that's why I was like, just let me throw a few pills on you at the beginning of the school year, get rid of the scarring. And she's like, it don't bother me. I'm like, that's not okay.
But here's what happens, Mom. I think that's a teachable moment, though. Just even from that is that she's comfortable in her skin.
Oh my God, it's crazy. Like looking at her
mother, but
it was like I wasn't like that.
But here's what we said from a curse, right?
True.
You broke it. So she's able to do that. So there's no low that generation, that one right there didn't catch that. So you have to accept that space in there because she is literally able to do it really because of your grandmother, mother, and you. That I'm not falling for that. Like, I'm comfortable in my skin. And I don't need that. And
She struggled very early on because, again, she's taller than me. Like, she's super tall. She wears glasses. Like, for me, I hated mine and they were thick. I wanted contacts. She's the total opposite. Loves her glasses. Hates contacts.
Wow.
Like, she came into her own and her confidence. And I just look at her every day and be like, I wish that was me. Like, people on the outside thought it was me, but I was dying on the inside. Wow. But you actually exude that. And everywhere you go, people love her. Don't even know that's my kid. Like, they be like, I love her. And I'll be like, they just see a picture and they like, oh my God. Because she's her own person.
But that's the work that you're doing. So, she's representing the work that you're doing to understand, like, caring for your skin, because what you just said is that there might have been products we were using that sensitize our skin, which took us forever to get it right. Mm-hmm. So she's being able to say, I'm not falling for the fake ads, because that's what they were coming up. It was the fake ads, right? Mm-hmm. And so understanding that and understanding from the transfer line. And so I think when you think about the young girls in puberty, I do think having someone that looks like you, that looks like them, to be represented, to tell them how. I think that I think it's necessary because
especially now because they have access to too much information.
Yeah.
And all information is not good information.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're only going to go with the information that's trending and not even question. Like, does that even make sense?
Well, even when you think about it from the standpoint of cleanse, exfoliate, brighten, boost, and enrich, I had to stay there because we didn't understand all that. We were like, I cleanse my skin, but I forgot to exfoliate. Then I forgot bright.
So some people don't even know what exfoliate is.
Absolutely. But I think it's in order for change to happen, and I say this even as we do the work, you have to first educate. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes in this place of consumer behaviors, we forget about the importance of education and educating you to be able to showcase that.
But no, that's the thing. And so from my business page, that I haven't really been on there because all the changes. Mm-hmm. But that's one of the things that I pride myself in with my clients and just my audiences is educating. Yeah. So that you can make educated decision based on your needs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the energy you put out is what you get back. And so my clients, pretty much before they have either found me or come to me, they've done some research. Mm-hmm. And so when I'm talking to them, it's not foreign. They're like, well, so they'll ask certain things, but they've been Googling and looking and trying to figure out. They may have an idea, but I just like to educate. And I tell them, like, even if you don't come to me or even if you don't buy my products, these are the things and the questions you should be asking.
Yeah.
because, I can't see everybody.
Exactly.
But you should. And so you have a lot of estheticians who don't put in the time to educate, to get continuing education, to really study and learn, because we don't learn about melanated skin in school.
Yeah.
None of them are teaching it. None of the major schools are teaching it. And I've taught in one of the major schools, and they're still trying to get me back, but I'm like, I'm a good. I teach under my brand.
That's awesome.
So I can control the narrative and really give them the information. So you got the estheticians going through school just enough to pass the board, and then they come out and it's like, oh, I want to open a suite. One, you didn't get thorough any education on skin of color. You don't even know how to run a business. You're isolating yourself from the industry. Like, it's so much out here, and you want to do that because that's what they see on Instagram.
Yeah.
And so when I tell people my hourly price, they're looking like, and I'm like, and that's even being modest, because it should definitely probably be double from the time and the investment that I have put into myself, my knowledge, and my brand.
Yep.
Because
That's
it wasn't just it wasn't just
Correct.
this industry. I have 20 plus years of corporate HR experience
Tell the people.
and
Before.
2 degrees before I transitioned. And so, and I found myself having to justify that at the beginning of my business, because, they only meet you where you are. So they're like, oh, she had makeup artist, she do skincare.
No.
Ivy League,
Yeah.
Fortune 500 company, like, you know what I'm saying? So, and now I've transitioned that, and it all was connected because I was in human resources.
Dealing with people.
Yes.
So you were still in
Exactly. So I'm
place
like, how
of-
do I marry this? Because how people, so it's all about confidence and self-esteem, period. Because how you feel about yourself, you show up. And so that's why I say Tori Prince Beauty, to empower you to be the best version of yourself. Because when you don't have strong confidence and high self-esteem, we make some fucked up decisions. And excuse
No,
Prince.
this, we can do this up in here. So I
You
love
really
it.
make some fucked up decisions, and you be like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're not empowered. We don't. Where do we have empowerment? Where can we go as a source of empowerment? Where can we go to talk about these things?
Yeah. That's so true. And I think it impacts, and the way that I'm hearing is that it impacts all of it, right? The skin, but we didn't see that. We didn't think let me say this. We separated the two, right?
Yeah.
It was skin and then life. No, they're not together. They're not integrated. They're not cousins. No, they are though. And understand, and I think that the work that you do in this space is important, because, I mean, as sad as it may be, I just remember growing up, like, and I said this to you, and I wonder if people really, I don't know anybody who was doing facials growing up. Like, I heard people getting their makeup done for prom, right? I heard getting our hair done, but I didn't hear facials. Now, my mother was the queen of Mary Kay, so we had a lot of parties and facial parties at home, but we didn't go out to do that. That was always a home care. It was a DIY for real. And we had the steps. I had the steps in the bathroom. Like, she would give me the steps, step 1, step 2, step 3. So that was the extent. But here's the thing. That was education. Because as much as I didn't have, it was enough to know that, you have to clean your face. That it's important to do that, and understanding that. And so that step by step, which is why I think proactive, was that what we talked about? I think that's why it grew, because no one had that step-by-step process to be proactive was the thing. And gratefully,
I wish I could find them pictures. I think I'm like, my skin was never this bad. It burned. I had bumps. It was
people talked about it.
bad.
And I never used it because I didn't
Thank
have.
God.
I know, and I said that because I think my mother has seen me sold on Mary Kay, so I was the Mary Kay girl for a long time.
Okay.
And I know. I just stopped using them. Believe it or not, maybe like 10 years ago, because it wasn't working for me anymore. I was like, no, Mom, it's not working.
Yeah.
I'm getting some breakouts. So from that, but I want everyone, if you're listening, I know you're like, where can I find her? Where is she? How can I book? I mean, I hear y'all right now. Like, okay, how can I book her for my daughter? How can I book her for my sister? I can hear people saying that because it doesn't exist, and it happens here in Chicago, guys. So I know
but we
got
also
a lot
do
of
virtual.
Oh,
So that's one thing that we're expanding on. We really want to do. So what was it last year? Last year, girl, I know. Back.
I know.
Last month, I launched Skin 2.0 in Finland.
I saw that online. Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I think when I came back, the trademark came through.
Wow.
The trademark came through. I was like, thank God.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
But there's a need globally.
She said Finland for everybody in the back that's listening. I need
In
y'all to understand.
Europe. That was my first time there.
Wow.
So they have a need for services and products. That's what the event was to gauge
Interest
the
there.
interest. And I'm like, it's so much opportunity. So of course I can't have everybody as a client. So we're offering virtual product consultations where,
You buy the product and then we show you how
or
to use
we
it.
could both.
Okay.
So we could have the consultation and you're asking me. So it's basically as if you come to, like if you were in person, but it's just virtually. And then we can talk about what products to purchase. You purchase the products, you're using them. Then if you want to follow up, and we could tweak it that way. So you have that relationship, but you can't get to Chicago.
Okay.
If you start out virtually, you come to Chicago, then your first service, of course, you receive a promo for coming. But then, if you want to, come to Chicago. So I have a lot of clients that fly out.
Okay.
Because they just like,
I believe that.
So I'm like, at the end of the day, you're going to use my products. So some people start off with the products, then they come see me because they're like, time or monetary or whatever the case may be, they'll start off with the products because you're going to get them anyway. Like you're going to have to get on that regimen, especially if you want to start going into more of the advanced treatments. Your skin has to be prepped. And that's another thing. Everybody wants to do all these peels and all of this stuff right off the bat. No, I don't do that. Some people do it. That's their business. I don't know you. I don't know your habits. I don't know what you've been using. I don't know none of that. So I have to get to know you and I have to get to know your skin. And then once we prepare it, it's prepped, then you can get that peel and whatever else you may want if your skin allows it. Like we don't listen to our skin. We always say the largest organ, but really our digestive system is the largest, which also contributes to the health of your skin. So whatever you're putting in your body, what you're not putting in your body, it's going to show in your face.
Yeah, that's true.
Or your body. Some people, have body acne, back acne and all that stuff. So it's all contributed. So we really get down to that. And so that's why I was like, virtual is great because it allows me to scale when it comes to the service piece.
Yes.
But especially with the product. So you can be on the products and never ever get the service. But you'll be getting, what you need.
The education around that. And guys, I just want to say that Miss Tori, yes, she's offering a special code for us. So anybody who is interested in getting any of her products, it will be 20% off your first purchase. And this is like new for us, guys. So I just want you all to know people are offering it. And we are excited that they're offering it. And give them, how can they book you? Like, how can they do that?
So my website is ToriPrinceBeauty.com.
It's beautiful.
Tori
too.
with an I. On Instagram, it's Tori Prince Beauty. I think Threads is Tori Prince Beauty. But I'm going to tell you on Threads, you're going to get Tori and Tori Band. Those are two separate people.
They're two different people.
Tori brand is my personal brand. That's me. So you get a little bit of business.
I get a little
real life. Yeah, you get a little pumpkin in there, baby. It go down. Tori Band After Dark. Like, that's the name of the podcast. Seriously. Like, no, for real. So that's coming soon back. But then also through Instagram, you can find the booking. Through the website, you can find booking. But if most of you guys are familiar with Vagaro, I'm on Vagaro, Tori Prince Beauty on Vagaro.
Vagaro. Okay. So
Tori Prince Beauty, Facebook. Yeah, so I keep it consistent.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty
20% off, and your code is BBM20. So that's Black Businesses Matter 20. Okay. So
every purchase comes with a sample because I just believe in my products. That's
awesome.
I get a lot of customers that way.
I believe it.
I give away so many products. I'm like,
believe
because it's, I'm not a big believer in samples. So those are like, I call them travel sizes, but I was like, you really can't know if something's efficient by a sample.
I agree.
But these samples, baby, turn you into a believer. So I said, okay, you purchase whatever you purchase. I put in a complimentary
That's awesome.
sample so you could try it. And
I think that's so important because I say that with our clients, like down to the days of the samples, like Supergroup, there's a lot of companies that are doing that. And they found, for some of my like hair product, they gave me full bottles and I was literally am committed to them forever because it works, right? So I think it's value in it. I do. I think it's better to service. And it's interesting that you say that because there was a company, I can't remember, every time you went, it's a hair, it was, what is it? Paul Mitchell. So when you would go there, they would give you products. And a long time ago, they would give you full samples. And it forced you to come back. Like you were like, oh my gosh, I want to come back because, it works. So they started, I just remember that because I used to go there for color.
But it's super expensive.
It is.
Like my samples to produce my manufacturer are expensive, which I need to check in on my order. But they return the greatest value.
But it is about value, right? At the end of the day, that's what we have to understand, that it's about, do you value you enough to be able to invest in this product? Because at the end of the day, I truly, truly believe when it comes to skincare, anything, I think it's everything. It's about value.
Yep.
Do you value yourself enough to invest, right? You put in the time, you went into Ivy League schools, you study, you put science in it. That's the investment, right? So that, and I'm not gonna say validates, but it does validates my cause to be able to know that no, and nothing against someone who's just wake up and do it too. So I also feel like there's nothing wrong with that either. If you walk up and you did that too, we have to understand that the secret, and I say this, is constantly understanding your value at all times, right? And your value allows you to show up at work better, show up for a relationship, show up for your kids, your family, et cetera, et cetera. So there's value in that. So I definitely, I want everybody to know where you located.
We just moved from Bridgeport. We are downtown in the North Bridge building, so 520 North Michigan, in the Phoenix Salon Suite. So we downsized. That's a whole nother thing. I was literally moving out of my 1,600 square foot studio as I was boarding the plane to Finland. So shout out to my team that made that happen because it literally happened overnight. And God pushed me. I was like, I can't do this. I can't. I've been there almost 3 years. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't. You can? Oh, let me show you can.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I literally packed before my flight 2 hours before, and my damn luggage was like 10 pounds over. Because I just restored. I knew it was coming up, but life was happening in that moment. And I was like, it happened right as I got on that plane, that 14-hour flight.
But can I ask you this? While you're downsizing, how is it impacted? Has it impacted the sales of the business? Or are you able to get another revenue stream or vertical based on this downsizing?
I look at it as I had to take a step back for... It pushed me out of my comfort zone because I was comfortable. But it came right in alignment for where I am and where the brand is going. So literally, I took a client last week, but I have been off for a month.
Wow.
And still sustain.
Woo!
And this client is a VIP client. She's a brat.
Okay.
I love her. No. But she flew in. She's home from New York. And so literally it's just the furniture I put in there. Because I had furniture. So, and I took her. And now all of my clients are like, hey, can we finish our treatment programs? I'm like, hey, can y'all let me get the products out the boxes? Like when that happened, I didn't know what was next.
Yeah. But
I
it's
put
a
everything
demand.
in the storage and was like, oh, what? And people like, well, my friend got a room over here. My friend, I said, it has to be in alignment with my brand. And all of my clients were like, well, Tori, you was always saying you was ready to move. I said, yeah, but I wanted to move and I wanted
On
to
your
move.
own terms.
Well, that's not how it happened.
Yeah.
And so it worked out that way. And I'm like, good, because now that's less responsibility, smaller.
Footprint.
I don't have employees well, service employees. I have an operations team, but I'm like, now I'm gonna focus on getting the brand to where I envision it. And I'm like, God, lead my steps, because now I'm taking my hands off the wheel, because I'm so used to, I wanted A, B, C, D, E, F, and I want this over here, this over here, and this over. And he's like, girl, go sit down, because I'm saying you need to go over there. Yeah. And so it became time, I'm just like, okay. It's going to be whatever. My mission still is the same, empowering.
Okay.
And that could change next year. I could be doing something else.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. I think it's...
But I feel like I'm in this space because he just won't let me. I've tried to leave several times, and
here we are. Well, I'm going to ask this because we could talk, oh my gosh, for hours. I can talk for hours with Tori, literally. And I probably say that with everybody because I absolutely just love Black businesses and I love to hear about them and I love to support them and collaborate with them, which is why this podcast is here. So I'm going to ask you, why do Black businesses matter?
Why do Black businesses matter? Because we are the majority. But we have been brainwashed to think that we're the minority.
Ooh. And when you say majority, what do you mean? Majority in vision?
In life.
Yeah.
We are the majority when it comes to ideas, innovation, culture.
Yeah.
I always say, if we were such minority, we were such unworthy people, why do we have generations of suppression? Because you fear us and what we're capable of. And we've been robbed. If we ain't shit, then let us be.
Yeah.
But you know our power, so you keep us suppressed.
Yeah. You know our power and you keep us suppressed. Wow. Yeah.
So there are a few of us, you, I, and other people that are like, no, we know our power.
Yeah.
And we fucking matter.
Yeah.
You know we matter.
Yeah.
Y'all know we matter. You just hope we don't know we matter.
Ooh. Okay.
But
Ooh,
now the generations coming behind, they're starting to know that we matter. And you have pioneers at very young ages, entrepreneurs, and these kids making millions younger and younger. Because see, what we're doing now, and I'm kind of jealous.
I know.
It's not for us in this moment. And I'm like, damn, I want to be here to see this. What this hard work that we're doing is for the generations behind us.
It is.
So that's why I try to do my little treating my little stuff, my little hard work. Because look, I'm going to get some of this while I'm here. But that's why we matter.
That's awesome. Ooh, that just brings me chills. Because every time I hear that, people give us so much. And it just makes it the point of why we matter. And as we talk about this place of wellness and you share just your own struggle with confidence, how today do you stay well as someone who is caring for all
as
these
I'm
amazing...
headed to a spiritual retreat? Shout out to my psychological surgeon. She is the only one in the U.S., which is crazy because she's from Inglewood too.
Wow.
She's biracial and she like a cook. I love her to death.
I love it.
But when I would struggle and I would go to therapy or just go to, do Reiki or just different energy readings, and throughout my life, I found the common denominator was self-care. I didn't give it to myself. Somehow I was able to always give it to other people, but I didn't give it to myself. And I'm like, okay, if I'm not well, this business,
and you were in HR.
Yeah,
let's just sit.
I know.
I'm sorry. I just had to say.
Because I was, you know what? I've always given people or been to people what I need and what I want. But then I had to learn that now Tori has to give it to Tori in order to give it to other people genuinely, like, and, you know, and not be depleted, because I told you, I come across all kind of energies and different things. And so I had to start investing in my mental health and self-care.
Okay.
And then being more vocal about it, because when I post on my page and I'm in my stories, I get so many women in the message like, I needed that today, Tori, thank you. And I say, if it even help one person,
That's right.
I'm not doing it for facade just to be reposting some shit. Like, it really resonates. Like, if it's like, okay, I need to share this. Somebody needs to hear it, whether it's motivational, whether it's, you know, talking shit low key, throw a subliminal shade, but not to somebody, but just in that space. It's like when you're in social media presence, we feel, and even in life, we feel that we have to have this certain persona. We got to follow these certain guidelines. You shouldn't talk like this. You shouldn't curse. You shouldn't wear red lipstick. You should do what the hell you want to do. And your crowd is going to follow you.
Yeah, that's true.
Now on Tori Prince Beauty, you know, I'm Tori. I'm professional. You might get a curse word here or there in the story. Not too bad. On Tori Band, it's still kind of PG-13, but you get a little bit more. Yeah. But like if you go on TikTok or if you go on Snapchat, you're going to get the real me that's unfiltered. Because we're all of that. I'm a mother. Yeah. I'm a wife. I'm all of that. But I'm still a real person. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like when we're authentic, that helps more people. Mm-hmm. And so I started talking about therapy, and people like, oh my God, I've been looking for a therapist, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, ooh, well, my therapist is, like I said, a psychological surgeon. It's not just a regular therapy session where me and you were talking now. That's fine. I did that until that was not helping. I needed to go a step further to get to the core of the little girl Tori, to heal, to continue to be productive.
And so the retreat is for how long?
2.5 days.
Nice. And so do you do this often?
This is my first time doing it with her, but I did prior to this. So you had to be her client. Oh. So before, I did psychotherapy beginning of this year or maybe the end of last year. So I've been with her almost a year now.
Okay.
And I see, you know, now we're in our soft girl era, and that irritates me, by the way. And then we're healing and we're thrown around as a thing. And it's like, no, that's not like some shit you just go buy some Jordans. Like, oh, I got some Jordans. Healing is a real thing. It's a real job, and you need to put in the work. Like, it's serious. Like, it's not just, oh, I'm healed. Nah, bruh. You're crying. You losing people.
Wow. Do you think it was necessary for you to invest because of how many people you are touching through?
No, I needed to do it for me.
Good for you.
You know how I don't know if you've ever felt like you're on autopilot or you're trapped. Like, you know that you want more, you want better, and you want to operate at a certain frequency, but you're just not, and you don't know how to break out of it. Like you know, you're comfortable in a toxic space. Yeah. But you want better, and you want answers to why, you know, you're doing these things, or you feel this way, or you keep attracting these type of people. You have to go inward. And so for me, it was important for me, and especially as a mother,
to invest,
because I don't want, you know, my trauma to impact them, because some things my mom did, I do, but it's like, ooh, that's not how that should go. So now I need to change that for them, so that when they become parents or just, you know, adults, it's different. Yeah. Because we do what our parents did or didn't do, and it's like, oh, my mama did this, I'm trying to find. No, we didn't turn out okay. I mean, yeah, we did for the most part, but you know, I agree. Improvement.
And I think it's, you know, and I said this earlier, is that I think what we have to understand is that it works till it doesn't work.
Exactly.
So it's the same way when we think of technology, right? This computer works till it doesn't work anymore. And what happens? You got to go get a new one.
Yeah.
And when you get that new one, it's going to be what? Faster. Mm-hmm. It's going to be more intuitive. The screen going to be bigger, thinner, lighter. So we have to understand that that's part of evolution and not to disregard the old computer with the big old thing that was in the back and it was heavy. Because we needed
history,
it.
Yeah.
Right.
And we might end up going back to that.
Come on now. So I think we don't realize, I think whenever we bring about new, I think it's sometimes deemed as to take history away when it's more so to pay homage to history.
Because it repeats itself.
It repeats itself. And you're right, we might end up going back to that. But what I think is so funny when you were saying that, I was thinking about these flat screens. Now it's an 80s, it's like an 80-inch now. And I was just like when does it stop? Like, are we gonna get to 200-inch?
Your whole wall gonna be a TV. I'm like, I wear glass, I can't see. Like that's too big. Like, and it's this close.
Right. And it's becoming that. So I think that's funny. So, guys, Tori Prince, I am so excited. It took us a while to get her, y'all, because look, y'all heard her. She's all over the place. She's in Finland, creating some amazing products. I want to make sure you guys know to visit her at toriprincbeauty.com. That is also her handles on IG, Facebook. Again, she's offering 20% off your first purchase. So be sure to, we'll definitely give you guys another mention throughout the episode so that you'll know with the code BBM20. The other thing I want to say as we close, what brings you joy?
Oh, man. What brings me joy?
I think it was the coffee, but I'm not. That's
that too. I'm gonna have to come over here like
Delvin's gonna have
I'm about to call him and be like, I'm riding by. I'm gonna get him a box of disposable cups and be like, just sit it on the porch and I'm on my way because my kids go to school right up the street. You know what? What brings me joy is living life on my own terms. That's awesome. I don't have to wake up and answer to anybody but Tori and God and my kids.
Yeah.
Like waking up, like it's a different type of freedom.
Yeah.
Not waking up like, damn, I got to drive to Oakbrook into this office and deal with these damn people. Nah, it's waking up like, oh man, okay, so am I gonna do my stretches or all right, I need to, check in on my team. It's just free.
There you guys. I mean, you heard it. You heard from Tori Prince, who gave us what brings her joy. And I just want to thank you for being the most outstanding guest on Black Businesses Matter. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
And to just be able to sit here and hear about cosmetic science. So I thought that was incredible for people to hear.
I think I'm going to go back. Like, I'm probably like a professional student.
I am too, Tori.
I just got a certificate in integrative aesthetics, but there is is it an Emory?
Okay.
A cosmetic science certificate. I was like, I'm going back to school.
Yeah. I know.
I'm a lifelong learner.
Yeah,
like, I'm like,
me too,
look,
Tori.
you can take everything, but you can't take our education, our intellectual property up here. And
I love being a student. Yes.
Evolving.
Yes. It's so, and actually to me, it keeps you sharp.
It does.
Really does. It keeps your skills sharp. Even to our literally genius over there, he's going back to school too.
Oh
and so we were just talking about that. So I just think that it's just incredible that we're all staying students. So I just want to say thank you guys for rocking with us and hearing and listening to another episode of Black Businesses Matter. We'll see you next week. Hey BBM listeners, Tori Prince Beauty is offering 20% off your first purchase or new client experience. Visit toriprincbeauty.com. You must use the code BBM20. Visit toriprincbeauty.com. Shop responsibly, and thank you for listening.
The Black Businesses Matter podcast is produced by the L3 Agency, a culturally sensitive influencer, marketing, and communications firm in Chicago, where relationships are our currency, passion is our profit maker, and people are our bottom line. Follow us on Instagram at Black Businesses Matter.